Okay, this is going to sound like a little bit of slander to what I know I'm sure of some of your guys' favorite teams or to a fan base that you're actively participating in, but we have to talk about storming the field pandemic. Arguably worse than the COVID-19 pandemic, you might as well call it the COVID-22 because it's spreading around so fast and so unnecessarily that I won't even let old people go to games anymore. And here's the thing, it's a really bad trend. It's like everybody wants to be on it, but nobody really deserves to be in on it. I would say there's typically like 1 to 2 storm-worthy games a year in college football that just perfectly encapsulates how a game felt, what the game stood for, and just the raw stakes at hand. This year, the piece de resistance was the Tennessee game. You had a team that hasn't been elite in a while taking on the number 1 team in the country, and it came down to literally the last kick that just barely stuck through. The stakes were everything. The tension leading up to the game was everything, and what that win represented to this team and that fan base was everything. So when they stormed the field, we were like, yeah, okay, I wanted to jump through the TV, so obviously they deserved it. But now let's look at some frauds. Colorado storming the field against Cal. Hey, this was their very first win, and even though you're excited, this isn't like a multi-season long losing streak. I mean, you won your second to last game last year, so I mean, yeah, at least it was a close game and it meant a little bit of something to the fans, so this one's probably the least egregious. B, Coastal Carolina storming the field against App State. This was dumb. You guys literally had a 14-point lead in the second half, and they never once came within 7 points in that game. That was less close than the final score indicated. You also had to witness your team taking a knee 4 times, which should be like a storm the field boner killer, but this is only somewhat decent because it's at least becoming a big rivalry, but I think it was still completely unmerited. C, Kansas storms the field against Oklahoma State University. This game at least means a little something to the fans since the Jayhawks became bowl eligible, but with a 24-7 lead at halftime that quickly turned into a 31-7 lead halfway into the third quarter, you cannot tell me that that excitement rolled all the way through another painful 20 minutes of football to merit somebody storming the field. It was so unnecessarily and lifeless that I just cannot get behind why they would storm the field in this situation. What letter am I on? D? LSU storms the field against Ole Miss. Games like this are what grinds my gears. LSU gave Ole Miss a total shellacking and absolutely runs away with this game in the third and fourth quarter. You could have left the game halfway through the fourth, but instead you get this limp dick, people jogging on the field in pure apathy like it was choreographed and everybody knew, hey, if we win, we're storming, but then like they ended up scoring 21 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to beat Ole Miss by 25 points. Like, just go home, bro. I mean, look at this dude. He's even checking his phone while he's running onto the field. There's no way he's having fun. Finally, the worst one in my opinion, Liberty storming the field against BYU. This game looked close for about 20 minutes. Then Liberty would proceed to make like the US, delivering some Liberty, some poor Middle Eastern country, and beat the brakes off of BYU like they were hiding barrels of oil for 2.5 straight quarters. BYU blew their load in the first quarter alone and would not score the rest of the game, and honestly, there weren't even that good of a team coming off of 2 back-to-back losses. There was no hype around this game. It actually represented nothing in the grand scheme of things as Liberty was already bowl eligible and used to having success. I just don't get why they stormed the field after this boring, uninspired game. Anyway, that's my rant. I enjoyed LSU's win over Alabama though. I feel like that merited a storm, but that's honestly it. Hope you guys have an amazing day in peace.